Howdy-o, what do you know, it's Rabbit of ScrubLeet Academy, and we are back in DDO today, and today we will be continuing with this weird, non-standard stat to hit and damage video I put up yesterday, this time leading into Wisdom. Yeah, I really don't have a great title for this, but I'm sure I can figure something out. In desperation, in the old days of yore, a YouTube commenter named Snippy Jimmy Socks 6969er, I mean Corey, asked, could somebody make a video where they go through and tell you all the stat to damage options, what weapons or items they applied to, and the best classes for them? That would be awesome. And a hero answered the call. A hero who wanted people to like him. A hero who was awesome. Trust me, I'm that hero, and I'm earning that fucking awesome, son. So let's do it!
Do it! Do it! Just do it! Do it! Just do it!
I guess we gotta move along. But first, do keep in mind that this list is reserved only for items and effects that alter the attribute used for attack, damage, skills, or other effects not normally covered by those attributes. So that being said, I won't be talking about metamagic feats, feats that have a prerequisite attribute but don't actually change the attribute you used prior to acquiring the feat, deity feats, past life bonuses, or any other bonuses that give a universal accuracy or damage boost, or effects that boost base attack bonus alone, which in this context would count as an accuracy boost. Any effects I don't cover here, assume they don't fulfill the parameters of this list if they don't change the attribute, skill, or general number you use to perform those actions. I'll cover all the non-standard hit and damage modifiers first in this video and all others like it, since that's probably what you came to see, but some modifiers work for saving throws and defense also. I'd be remiss to exclude them, but you don't have to watch that far to get all you need for your next one-stat-fits-all build. As I mentioned earlier, today's session deals entirely with the Wisdom attribute. It might seem like we're jumping around a bit here, but that's not true. That's all the citation I'm going to give on that claim, but if you have some cognitive dissonance about the fact that Dexterity isn't next on this list, I would like to give you a pin I made on MS Paint. It took me 17 hours. Also,
I'd like you to have my pistol, Bobby.
So you've forgiven me? Alrighty, then I accept. So let's start with the obvious. The Universal Falconry Tree covers pretty much everything you need here, with Killer Instincts 1 and 2 to fulfill all your Wisdom to damage needs for a cost of only 3 payments of 4 enhancement points each. Also, you can get all that in 2 minutes of Deadly Instincts as well, now for a limited time offer of 23 enhancement points. There's no better way to build your War Priest than to spend half your points in Radiant Servant and another quarter in a Universal Tree. Apparently, that still makes a War Priest build. So we have the Beacon of Hope Tier 2 Might's Reward, usable for Wisdom as well. I won't retread that old ground, but Favored Soul's War Soul tree also brings something new to the table with Divine Will, that does all that Deadly Instincts does for far cheaper. Rounding out Favored Soul's ridiculous support for Wisdom-based gameplay is Knowledge for Battle, which makes it so you can automatically use Wisdom to hit and damage for all weapons if your total Favored Soul levels are equal to or greater than the total levels you have in all other classes. Now this only applies to heroic stuff, so you don't have to worry about any epic or legendary levels getting in the way of that. Now that we're done with the boring shit, let's get to the interesting stuff. Zen Archery allows you to add your Wisdom modifier to hit with attacks using longbows and short bows, as well as make those weapons key weapons for any monk garbage you have. Its prerequisite line is, well, cutting, but it makes for a very interesting playstyle. It basically forms your classic moncture and can save you enhancement points for better stuff if you want to go dex-based monk as well. Beyond that, there isn't much to get Wisdom to damage with. The Druid Flameblade spell creates 1 or 2 fire scimitars, you pick, and the past life version, called Harbinger of Nature's Wrath, does the same thing. The good thing about the past life version is that you don't have to actually be a druid on the life you use them on, but you will have to have been at some point in your character's past. Though limited to scimitars, they use Wisdom to hit and damage, along with dealing some fire damage on hit. They'll be next to fucking useless against demons, but you can wisely shove them up the ass of the next orc you see, and that's a good trade-off. As we've learned from all D&D lore, all orcs are bad orcs. Hashtag all orcs are bad orcs, hashtag feminism. I'll leave the list of weapons that use unusual modifiers on screen for a few moments, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about them. They hit shit, they use the modifier, that's really all there is to a lot of these things. The Wisdom ones are actually a lot easier to understand, since every entry I can find lists them as being able to use the Wisdom modifier for both attack and damage. Also, even with the new stuff soon to come in Update 55, I highly expect that things like Rayleigh the Frostblade will be extremely competitive options at 32. So you actually have a few choices if you want to save feats and enhancements at those level brackets. Now to change things up, we have our first Monk entries. Monk is weird, but altogether extremely unique, a class that functions so differently you'll probably need a guide to figure out how to make it work. Oh, right, there is one. Monks get access to Centered Defense, which adds their Wisdom modifier as well as their Dexterity modifier to armor class, giving them what could amount to effectively double the normal bonus to AC if you spend your points right. 10,000 Stars, on the other hand, is a Monk exclusive feat that only works with throwing weapons and adds your Wisdom modifier to your range power. Normally you can't get any attribute to range power, and considering the changes to how many shot functions, I figured this would be an honorable mention. The only other thing I could find about alternative attacks based around Wisdom is the Druid Takedown spell, which requires Wolf form. It's a trip effect that uses the highest of your Strength, Dexterity, or Wisdom modifiers for its DC, making it much easier to use for a pure Wisdom Druid than the normal trip attack. And that's it, that's all I found for these stats. If you enjoy this content, show your support in the comments section down below, and like and share this thing everywhere people is. If you didn't, then still hit that like button and leave a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.